The night in Lisbon had that unmistakable tension, the kind that clings to the air before something spectacular happens. The floodlights blazed, the crowd buzzed, and Arsenal women stepped onto the pitch with a mission: to begin their Champions League defense not just with a win, but with a statement. What followed was 90 minutes of pure dominance, tactical brilliance, and two women at the heart of it all, Beth Mead and Alessia Russo. From the opening whistle, you could feel it. Arsenal weren't here to warm up. They were here to announce themselves. The reigning champions didn't just play football, they orchestrated it. And right from the start, Beth Mead looked like a player reborn. After battling through injuries that once threatened to derail her career, she was back in full force, sprinting down the wing, demanding the ball, dictating the rhythm. It wasn't long before the old magic returned. At the 14th minute, with Lisbon's back line still finding their footing, Mead picked up the ball on the right flank. One touch to steady, one glance up, and then that trademark delivery, a curling cross that seemed to hang in the air for eternity before Alessia Russo rose above everyone, meeting it with a thunderous header that smashed into the net. 1-0 Arsenal. The crowd erupted, not just in celebration, but in awe. It was a goal straight out of the playbook of champions. Russo's reaction said it all. Fists clenched, eyes burning, a scream of pure emotion. That was her moment. But it was also a reflection of what this Arsenal side had become: fierce, fluid, and connected. Every player knew their role, every movement had intent. Kim Little controlled the midfield with her usual calm authority. Leah Williamson marshaled the backline with ice-cold precision. And behind it all, goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo stayed sharp and fearless. But this was Mead and Russo's night. The chemistry between them was electric. Just before halftime, the pair combined again. Mead slipped into the box, exchanged a quick 1-2 with Russo, and lashed a left-footed shot past the keeper. It was vintage Beth Mead. Instinctive, powerful, and unstoppable. 2-0. Arsenal's bench erupted, and even manager Jonas Eidevall couldn't suppress a smile. The champions were back, and they were sending a message to Europe. The second half wasn't just a continuation, it was a showcase. Arsenal didn't sit back. They pressed, they moved, they toyed with their opponents. Every time Lisbon tried to regroup, Arsenal snatched the ball back like it was theirs by right. Russo, operating between the lines, bullied defenders with her physicality, while Mead's relentless pace kept the flanks alive. Together, they looked like a duo carved straight out of Arsenal's golden era. The perfect mix of intelligence and instinct. By the 60th minute, it was clear that Lisbon were being suffocated. Their midfield couldn't handle the tempo. Their defense couldn't predict the next wave. Then, in the 63rd minute, Russo sealed the deal. Picking up a through ball from Leah Walti, she shrugged off her marker, cut inside, and unleashed a low-driven strike into the bottom corner. The keeper didn't even move. 3-0. The job was done, but Arsenal weren't finished. You could sense it. This was more than just a win. It was redemption. Last season's triumph had been monumental, but it had also come with bruises, both physical and emotional. The injuries, the near misses, the criticism, they all built to this moment. And in Lisbon, Arsenal proved that they weren't just defending their crown, they were evolving. Beth Mead's story alone felt cinematic. Not long ago, she was sidelined with an ACL injury that kept her away from the pitch for nearly a year. Many wondered if she'd ever regain that explosive edge, that killer instinct. But Mead silenced every doubt. Her movements were sharp, her decision-making crisp, and her finishing ruthless. When the final whistle blew, she didn't celebrate wildly, she just smiled. The kind of smile that says, "I told you I'd be back." And Alessia Russo, the warrior up front, was everything Arsenal needed her to be. Physical when it mattered, clinical when it counted, and selfless when the play demanded it. Her partnership with Mead looked like it had been years in the making. The understanding, the communication, the trust, it all flowed naturally. Every pass between them felt intentional, every glance meaningful. Jonas Eidevall summed it up perfectly post-match. Tonight wasn't just about the result, it was about setting the tone. We want Europe to know that Arsenal are here to compete again, and our hunger hasn't faded. And that tone was crystal clear. This wasn't a team content with what they'd achieved. It was a team determined to build a dynasty. Even the stats backed it up. Arsenal ended the game with 67% possession, 18 shots on goal, and a pass completion rate that would make Pep Guardiola proud. But beyond the numbers, what stood out most was the chemistry, the way every player moved as one, like a single organism. The kind of cohesion that can't be coached, it has to be earned. And in that sense, Mead and Russo are more than just goal scorers. They're the emotional heartbeat of this Arsenal side. When they play together, there's a certain inevitability in the air. You know something's coming. You can feel it before it happens. The acceleration, the link-up, the finish. It's football poetry. As the final minutes ticked down, Lisbon's crowd, though heartbroken, couldn't help but applaud. They had witnessed something special, a performance of grace and grit in equal measure. Arsenal women walked off the pitch with their heads high, their confidence restored and their message delivered. The road to the Champions League trophy still runs through North London. In the post-match tunnel, cameras caught Mead and Russo laughing together, drenched in sweat but glowing with that unmistakable joy that only victory brings. When asked about their connection on the field, Mead grinned and said, "It's simple really. I know where she's going before she even moves." Russo nodded and added, "And I know where her cross is going before it leaves her foot." That's the magic of this Arsenal team. Intuition, trust, and pure footballing joy. Now, as the Champions League campaign unfolds, the rest of Europe is officially on notice. Because Arsenal women aren't just back. They're better, sharper, and hungrier. And if Lisbon was the opening chapter, then the rest of the story is shaping up to be one for the ages. Beth Mead's comeback, Russo's rise, and Arsenal's unity are no coincidence. They're the product of a club built on belief and a team that refuses to settle, the kind of spirit that turns victories into legacies. And as the Emery prepares to host their next home fixture, one thing's certain: the champions are far from done. Call to action. If you loved watching Beth Mead and Alessia Russo light up the pitch, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on your favorite moment from Arsenal's stunning start. Because one thing's clear, this isn't just another season, it's the start of something historic for Arsenal women.